Friends, as Israel's preparing for a renewed fight with Gaza, all kinds of soldiers that weren't called up yet or were called up and released are all being brought in. About 400,000 are beginning to train to do all kinds of intense maneuvers on the large scale. For us, 400,000 is a large scale of reserves to be called up. It's actually the largest in Israel's entire history. So Houthis are suddenly saying, hey, we're going to get back onto shooting hypersonic missiles and drones on Tel Aviv, on Jerusalem. That's what the senior Houthi leader said, Ansar Allah. The eye is on Gaza, the hand is on the trigger. That's what he said, to quote him. At the same time, in Judea and Samaria, 10 Indians from India, the dot, not the feather, were kidnapped by Palestinians and held in a village outside Jerusalem. Just now they got rescued, and so the Israel's Population and Immigration Authority announced that we've rescued them from... What is with all this hostage taking? That is not the way to be in the free world. They don't want the free world to be free, and we're going to fight to keep it free. Freedom's not free, That's what people keep forgetting. But until you have to pay the price, you don't know. You don't remember that. What happened is these Palestinians lured these workers into a village of Za'atim with promises that they'd work and they'd have construction jobs and all that, only to steal their passports and try to forge them to be able to cross and do terror and plant bombs. And it's just horrible. I really do appreciate Trump's approach to change up the whole perspective, where the world, the UN, everybody putting so much pressure on Israel. He says we got to change the whole idea. Instead of putting Israel under pressure, let's put pressure on Hamas, the very ones who started this whole thing and who continue to hold women, children, men, innocent Israelis hostage. The right thing to do is everybody should do the right thing and put terror to an end. Also, Iran is trying its best. It loves proxy war, and so Iranian's Mehr news agency announced on Wednesday the establishment of a new terrorist organization, called the Islamic Resistance in Syria. Why do they have to bring more terror? Because in light of the recent developments, they say, that Syria has witnessed, I guess that means the removal of the Assad regime, and a natural and legitimate response to division and displacement in Syria is to bring this, you see the logo is them holding a Kalashnikov rifle, and it resembles very much the IRGC, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. So they want to bring terror to our border, and we don't want that. So it's just noticing that, just like Hezbollah affiliated Al-Akbar reported that a similar group called the Syrian Resistance has launched operations against Israel, and they don't think that Jolani is going to do good enough. He's part of Jabhat al-Nusra. He's pretty much ISIS, right? I guess they don't think he's going to do good enough against Israel. Of course, people are trying to fund and reinstate Hezbollah at the same time, and Hamas. But I think the way to peace is actually a strong Israel, where terrorists just say, terror doesn't pay. This is not working. And we just have to, the Arabic word is hudna. We have to take a pause, and may that pause be for the next hundreds of years. And we just can't seem to beat these guys. Okay? Gal Gadot. Doesn't she remind you of Esther in this time from the Bible? She stands up in this powerful speech at the Javits Center in New York City, and she says, I cannot stay silent. My name is Gal. I am Jewish, and we have had enough of this hate. That's a quote from Gal Gadot. Man, and Mordecai also is in the story of Esther. And I love how he just says, if you remain silent at this time, relief and that's in Esther chapter 4, verse 14. If you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place, but you and your father's family will perish. And who knows if you have not come to your royal position for such a time as this.
Mazal tov! Mazal tov! Mazal tov!